When love meets truth, the soft power of speaking your heart. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era podcast, where we unlearn survival and rediscover softness. I'm LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And today I had the absolute honor of sitting down with Alicia Johnson, a woman whose heart and wisdom are shifting the way we think about love, partnership, and faith. Alicia is making the world a better place by reminding us that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the bridge to the love we deserve. Her message is simple but revolutionary. Prioritize a supportive partner, always speak your truth, and lean on faith until love arrives. And honestly, that's the kind of soft power we all need right now. So let's talk about something we don't talk about enough. The fact that most of us have been taught to survive, not to speak. We've been trained to hold it together, to keep our feelings tucked away like receipts we might need later, to smile through the storm and call it strength. And sure, that got us through some things, but it also left us exhausted, disconnected, and wondering why love feels so hard to find or keep. Here's the truth Alicia shared with me, and it hit me right in the chest. She said that holding back what's on your mind doesn't protect you, it blocks you. It blocks healing, it blocks intimacy, it blocks the very breakthrough you've been praying for. And I don't know about you, but I've spent way too many years thinking that keeping quiet was keeping the peace. Turns out I was just keeping myself small. Let me tell you about Serena Williams for a second. Yes, that's Serena, tennis legend, entrepreneur, icon, but also a woman who almost died giving birth. In 2017, after delivering her daughter, Serena experienced life threatening complications that nearly took her life: blood clots, emergency surgery. A body that had just performed one of the greatest athletic careers in history suddenly betraying her in the most vulnerable moment imaginable. And then came the postpartum depression, the kind that creeps in quietly, wrapping around your chest until you can't breathe. Here she was building her brand, S by Serena, scaling an empire, balancing motherhood with boardrooms and runways, and battling self doubt that whispered she wasn't enough. Add to that the racial bias she faced in business spaces that didn't always see her genius, only her blackness. The weight was crushing. But here's what saved her: her husband, Alexis Ohanian. Not because he fixed everything, not because he had all the answers, but because she told him everything. She spoke her fears out loud. She let him see her pain, her depression, her terror. She didn't perform strength, she offered truth. And he became her cheerleader, her partner in the truest sense. That vulnerability didn't weaken their bond, it strengthened it. Today, Serena's built a $240 million empire, won more Grand Slams, and inspired countless Black women to demand supportive love in their high stakes lives. All because she refused to suffer in silence. All because she understood that speaking her truth to someone who truly listens is not a sign of weakness, it's an act of profound courage. That's the first thing Alicia wants us to remember. Prioritize a supportive partner, not just someone who looks good on paper or shows up when it's convenient. A partner who listens, who shares their feelings openly, who transforms challenges into growth, especially when life feels heavy. Because let's be real, life gets heavy. And if you're carrying that weight alone while standing next to someone who's supposed to love you, something's broken. But here's where it gets interesting: a supportive partner isn't just about romantic relationships, it's about the people you allow into your inner circle, your friends, your mentors, your chosen family. Because the truth is, we've normalized being surrounded by people who don't actually support us, people who show up for the highlight reel but disappear when things get messy, people who love the version of us that serves them but can't handle the version that needs rest, needs help, needs honesty. Alicia's message challenges that. It says, stop giving your energy to people who can't hold your truth. Stop pretending everything's fine when it's not. Stop performing strength for an audience that doesn't even see you. Now, I know some of you are thinking, But LeAnne, what if I don't have that partner yet? What if I'm still searching? What if I've been hurt so many times that I don't even know if I can trust again? And that's where Alicia's second insight comes in. Always speak your truth, even if you're single, even if you're scared, even if it feels like no one's listening. Because saying it out loud, even in the tough seasons, invites breakthrough. It invites deeper connection. It invites the kind of love that actually sees you. Let me introduce you to Melody Hobson. She's the president of Ariel Investments and the first Black woman to chair the Starbucks board. She grew up in the Chicago projects, fought through racial barriers in finance that would have crushed most people, and built a career managing billions of dollars. Billions. Let that sink in for a moment. But when she met George Lucas, yes, Star Wars George Lucas, she didn't just bring her resume to the relationship. She didn't show up as the polished, perfect version of herself that the corporate world demanded. She brought her truth. She told him exactly how she felt about the challenges she was facing. The isolation of being one of the few Black women in rooms full of white men who questioned her every move, the scrutiny of merging her life with someone so high profile, the pressure of carrying the weight of representation everywhere she went. And instead of scaring him away, that honesty created emotional safety. It deepened their love. It amplified her voice. Today, Melody is a powerhouse, not in spite of her vulnerability, but because of it. She modeled for Black leaders everywhere that partnership plus communication unlocks influence, that voicing your truth prevents resentment from festering, that love grows in the soil of honesty, not perfection. And here's the thing: speaking your truth isn't just about romantic relationships, it's about every connection in your life, your friendships, your family, your work. How many of us have sat in meetings biting our tongues while someone else takes credit for our ideas? How many of us have smiled through family dinners while our souls were screaming? How many of us have said, I'm fine, when we were absolutely categorically not fine? Alicia's message is clear. Stop doing that. Your voice matters, your feelings matter, and the people who truly love you need to hear them. Not the sanitized version, not the version that makes everyone comfortable. The real version, the messy, complicated, beautifully human version. Because here's what I've learned: silence doesn't keep the peace, it keeps the pain, it keeps the distance, it keeps you small. And you weren't created to be small, but I get it. Speaking your truth when you've been hurt before, when you've trusted the wrong people, when you've been told you're too much or not enough, that takes courage. That takes faith. Which brings us to Alicia's third insight: lean on faith until love arrives. Divine guidance sustains you through hardship. It paves the way for real love that aligns with your purpose. Shonda Rhimes knows this intimately. The woman behind Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, Bridgerton, a media mogul who built a $400 million empire. But before all that success, before the accolades and the influence, Shonda was burning out. 80-hour work weeks that left her hollow, single motherhood fears that kept her up at night, creative blocks. In a Hollywood that didn't always see her, didn't always value her voice, didn't always make space for her brilliance, she was surviving, not thriving. And then she made a choice. She started saying yes to herself, yes to rest, yes to expressing her needs, yes to vulnerability. She leaned on faith during those lonely years, trusting that something greater was guiding her even when she couldn't see the path. And eventually, love showed up. Not just romantic love, but sisterhood, partnership, and a deeper connection to herself. That faith journey didn't just sustain her, it transformed her. It turned survival into something sacred. It taught her that she didn't have to have it all figured out. She just had to keep showing up, keep speaking her truth, keep trusting that the love she needed was already on its way. And that's what Alicia is inviting us into, a soft girl era where faith isn't just something we talk about on Sundays. It's the anchor that holds us steady when love feels far away. It's the whisper that says, "You're not alone. You're not forgotten. Your person is coming. Your peace is coming. Your joy is coming." And in the meantime, faith teaches us how to love ourselves well, how to set boundaries without guilt, how to rest without explanation, how to be soft in a world that taught us survival. Because here's what I've learned, both from Alicia and from my own journey. Softness is not weakness. Softness is not giving up. Softness is the radical act of choosing yourself, of protecting your peace, of refusing to carry capes you were never meant to wear. It's the deep exhale after years of holding your breath. It's the permission to be human, to be whole, to be healed. When you step into that softness, when you prioritize supportive partnerships, when you speak your truth, when you lean on faith, something shifts. You stop attracting people who need you to be small. You start attracting people who celebrate your bigness. You stop settling for love that feels like work. You start experiencing love that feels like home. Serena didn't just find a husband, she found a partner who sees her. Melody didn't just find romance, she found a love that amplifies her voice. Shonda didn't just find balance, she found joy. And all three of them did it by being brave enough to be vulnerable, by refusing to hide their hearts, by trusting that their truth was worth speaking. So here's my challenge for you, not next week, not when you feel ready, right now. Pick one person in your circle, a partner, a mentor, a friend, someone you trust, even just a little, and softly share one unspoken feeling that's been weighing on you. Just one. You don't have to unload everything, you don't have to have it all figured out. Just say the thing you've been holding back. Maybe it's, "I'm exhausted and I need help." Maybe it's, "I'm scared I'm not enough." Maybe it's, "I love you, but I need you to show up differently." Whatever it is, say it. Watch what happens. Watch how it opens doors to the love and support you deserve. Watch how it lightens the load you've been carrying alone. Because the truth is, we were never meant to do this alone. We were never meant to be strong all the time. We were never meant to survive without softness, without rest, without the kind of love that holds us when we're too tired to hold ourselves. Alicia Johnson reminded me of that. She reminded me that faith bridges to love, that our voices matter in every partnership, that speaking our truth isn't selfish, it's sacred. And I want you to feel something right now. I want you to feel hopeful. I want you to feel tenderly empowered, like a warm embrace reminding you that you're not too much and you're not too little. You're exactly enough. And the love you're seeking, the partnership you're praying for, the peace you're craving, it's already on its way. Your job is to stay soft, to keep speaking, to keep trusting. This is the soft girl era. This is where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. Now go speak your truth. Lean on your faith and watch love meet you right where you are.